Good evening, everyone. I'm CV Sharma back with another video. And here we are dealing with the rectangular components of vectors. In the earlier video itself, I explained this stuff. So I go a little bit quickly about this one. So what is this rectangular components of vector in a plane? So this is one is x component and y component is the resolution what we're going to do. So here the rectangular components of a vector a bar in terms of the unit vector can be written as ax I cap and ay j cap. So this is what I told rx I cap and ry j cap. And then you can write as a cos theta I cap and a sin theta j cap. And I'm just showing the notes what I'm having here in this particular video. And the next one is rectangular components of vectors in 3 dimensions, components which we get in resolving the vector lie in the space along the 3 mutually perpendicular directions, that is x, y, z axis, are called rectangular components or orthogonal components. So if the vectors are like mutually perpendicular to each other, they are said to be the orthogonal components. Now here P bar will represent the diagonal of a parallelepiped whose intercepts. Parallelepiped is something like if you have a figure with all the angles alpha, beta, gamma, all the angles are 90 degrees. So it's an extension of a cube. Cube, you have all the angles equal between the edges and between the edges of the cube. All angles are 90 degrees. We know that very well. And now if you represent the edges of a cube as px, py, pz as 3 vectors, 3 mutually perpendicular components, and the combination of that will give the vector. So here P bar is represented as the diagonal of the parallelepiped. So what is the diagonal? This is the diagonal, body diagonal basically. So parallelepiped, body diagonal of the parallelepiped. Body diagonal of parallelepiped. So basically what is that here is if you parallelepiped is something like a cube, don't worry too much about this. So on the cube, the diagonal which connects the opposite vertices, something like this. So this one and origin is taken here. So you connect like this. This is what is shown here. This is the origin and then you connect here like this, right? So you had to expose your mind a little bit in order to see this. So this is like a corner of the room, one corner of the room, bottom corner of the room, and this is the top corner of the room. And if you connect this, that is called a body diagonal. And now this diagonal will make an angle alpha, beta, gamma with respect to x, y, z axis. Okay. This vector P bar is nothing but can be represented as px I cap plus py j cap plus pz k cap. Like this you can write, right? So what does it mean? It's like a location of this I explained in the earlier videos itself. So how do you locate the point in 3 dimensions? From that itself, this will come. So if you move px in the x direction, that is px units in the x direction, py units in the y direction, and pz units in z direction. So like this you move, and here it is taken z axis like this. So it is px units in the x direction, py units in the y direction, and pz units in z direction. Like this, if you move, you will reach this point. That's what basically is expressed over here. And the coordinates of A happens to be px, py, pz. Okay, that is as simple as that. Mutually perpendicular movements you have to consider in order to reach this point. So that is represented here. And that is what is called resolution of the components along 3 dimensions. As simple as that. Now the alpha, beta, gamma are the angles between P bar and x, y, z axis. So you can write Px is equal to P cos alpha, Py is equal to P cos beta, and Pz is equal to P cos gamma. Like this you can write. And P square is nothing but Px square plus Py square plus Pz square. So in 3 dimensions, similar to the 2 dimensions. So the P is nothing but Px square plus Py square plus Pz square. Like this you get. So that is the modulus of the vector. This is the modulus of a vector. Modulus of a vector. So this is called modulus of a vector. Now let us move on. So Px is P cos alpha, P cos beta, and P cos gamma. I hope you got this. This is the idea. So when you find cos alpha, it becomes Px by P, cos beta is Py by P, and cos gamma is Pz by P, where cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma, they are called direction cosines. Okay. So here it is written, here cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma are called direction cosines of the vector P bar. So when you plug in the values of Px, Py, Pz in P square is equal to, you have Px square plus Py square plus Pz square, and you got to plug in Px is equal to P cos alpha and Py is equal to P cos beta and Pz is equal to P cos gamma. So what is alpha, beta, gamma? Alpha, beta, gamma are the angles P bar makes with XYZ axis. XYZ axis. So that is the crux, what you need to know. And then when you plug in, you get a relationship that cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma equal to 1. Once you remove P square, and P square can be cancelled out on either side. You can see that P square cos alpha plus P square cos beta plus P square cos gamma. P square can be taken out as common, and P square can be cancelled on either side. And then you get this cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma, which is equal to 1. So this is the idea, that is a relation between the direction ratios. Okay, this gives the relation between the direction ratios of the vector, okay, of the vector P bar. Now it means, what does this mean? It means the sum of the squares of the direction cosines of a vector is always unique. So that is a relation between the direction cosines of a vector. Okay, now this is the crux. And how do you find the direction cosines? So this is the one task I will tell you. So here we go. It's very simple. How to find direction cosines? Direction cosines. How to find the direction cosines? It's very simple. Let us say R bar is the vector. R bar is nothing but Rx I cap plus Ry j cap plus Rz k cap. Like this, a vector is represented. Now just find what is mod R bar. Just find what is mod R bar. Mod R bar is nothing but square root of Rx square plus Ry square plus Rz square. And now simply what you have to do is, what is the unit vector along R bar? Just you have to find this. So the unit vector along R bar is that R bar divided by mod R bar. So it is nothing but Rx divided by mod R bar I cap. So this is nothing but this side, the left side is nothing but R cap. That is, you can write Rx by mod R bar, right? Plus you can write Ry by mod R bar j cap plus Rz by mod R bar k cap. Like this you can write. And now Rx by mod R bar I cap plus Ry by mod R bar j cap and Rz by mod R bar k cap. Like this you have. And now what is from this? What is cos theta? Cos theta cos alpha. So cos alpha, where alpha is the angle with the angle which R bar makes with x-axis, that is Rx by mod R bar. And similarly, cos beta is this, which is nothing but Ry by mod R bar, and cos gamma is Rz by mod R bar. This is how you find the direction cosines. And now, as I told you, the relation between the direction cosines is like this. That is cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma happens to be 1. This is the relation between the direction cosines. Short form, we call them as DCs. Okay, those are called direction cosines. Direction cosines are DCs, we call them. So this is how we find the direction cosines. That's very simple. You had to divide with the modulus of the vector. Take the vector first. That is the step one. Take the vector and then find the modulus of that vector and divide this vector with the modulus. And then what you get is a unit vector. Just find the unit vector in its direction. You have to find the unit vector of r bar in this direction. And then the x component, y component, z component happens to be your direction cosines. As simple as that. Now, I think with this we conclude this video and then we move on to the next part. I hope you like this video and it's informative. Thank you all. Thanks for watching the video. Please do like, subscribe, and share. And thank you all.